Okay, see if this will actually turn out halfway decent. In order to braid your horn knot, which is what it's called because a lot of calf ropers put it around the saddle horn so that the rope, as it comes tight, doesn't cut into the leather on their saddle horn. But basically what you want to do is you can start braiding it by itself around an object. I'm using a scrub brush, or you can go ahead and braid it around the object that it's gonna finish up on, like I do with my hackamores. But basically, and this is going to be backwards because I'm using selfie mode so I can make sure I stay in picture. But I think it'll work. It'll work either way. You just got to remember which way you're going. So basically what you want to do is you want to start with your length of paracord, and it takes some practice to figure out exactly how much you might need for how long of a braid. But you just take it around behind whatever you're braiding around, and then you go up underneath your other string. You go ahead and pull it on through. So what you start with looks an awful lot like that. And then you just continue to go underneath your original strand. Just kind of wrap it around, I don't know, a few times. For a single strand of lariat rope like I use on my hackamores, it's 3 is plenty of times around. If I'm using a double strand, I do 5. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it'll look a little funky the first time around. God dang fly, go away. Because it'll level out and come down, but you should end up with something that looks an awful lot like that. And then the next couple of strands can get a little bit tricky, because until you get enough of them done and kind of start tightening everything down, to me it never really looks just exactly right. So but just follow you got your original strand up here that goes around, and this is your second strand right here. So for your third strand, you're going to want to take the second strand, the first place that it comes over the top of the first strand, which would be right here, and you're going to pull that out and take your third strand and go under and through between it and the first strand, like that. Can't really see what the heck I'm doing. And then just pull it on through. So you've got a goofy knot looking thing now. The next one, do the same thing. Follow the same paracord that you just went around, and the next place that it comes over the top, pull it out so you get your loop, and then go up from underneath. And same thing again. Follow it. The next strand that it comes out over the top, pull it out and go up from underneath. And you just keep doing that until you get all the way around. Back to where you started again. And then once you're back to kind of where you started, it starts to look a little bit like that. And this is the part where it gets really tricky, because you got to sort out where you're at and where you're headed, and try to keep everything in the order where it's supposed to be. But basically you just look for the strand. Why is that guy so shiny? Anyway, you look for the strand that you just came out from under, because here's your third line right there. the strand that you just came out from under, you follow it around. And it's, let's see, original strand, sorry, it's getting in my way. There. Anyway, the one you came from underneath, you follow it around, and then you find it, and it's right there. So you pull it out. See the one you came from underneath? It's right there. You pull it out, and then you just come up from underneath, same way you've done all the others. And then you just keep on and keep on and keep on until it's, the braid itself is the length that you need. You know, for nose bands on your hackamore, it may be 10, 12, 15 inches long. For you know, I use this knot also to hold the heel knot, together. On my hackamores, because it saves trying to braid on the dadgum lariat ropes that are frankly such a pain to tie in knots. And just keep following the one strand that you're working on as it continues to go down. And before long it'll kind of start taking shape a little bit, so you can see exactly what you're doing and exactly what it's supposed to look like. Get around here one more time, and then we'll see what we got. And I always try to bring it out, you know, whenever I'm finishing it'll kind of start to look like that. And whenever I'm going to finish it, I always try to bring my final loop out pretty close to my first one. That way when I tighten everything down and I burn these, they'll be on the same side, and they're pretty easy to hide, you know, on the inside towards the horse or whatever. But basically you go through and you kind of start in the middle, and you get a pair of needle nose pliers and you just tighten everything down, and before long you end up with something that looks a little bit like that. And I use it for those knots on the cheek piece to keep the bridle where it's supposed to go, and I also use it to underneath my Theodore there to hold these 4 strands of rope all together back here. And that's pretty much that.